Just explain to you how this gold forms. In your blood, throughout your body, you have tiny little bits of transition metals, which include gold and all the platinum group, the whole 9 yards, are in your body, but they're in tiny, 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 diverse areas. So what happens? These guys died standing in the mud, stuck in the mud, drowned, starved, however they died, and their bodies were buoyant. Their feet are stuck in the mud. One of them is up here, and one of them is down, way down. You can't see it anymore. Now, what do we see when we see Devil's Tower? There is a place called an abrupt transition. I talk about it over and over and over and over and over, 1,000 times. And it is a place that fractures at an exact spot. And then you get this little, see this little wrinkle zone? You get that wrinkle zone because these are under tension. All right? Now, why does the gold accumulate where it accumulates? Well, let's just talk about that. Now, remember I said there's a calcaneal tendinous branch, calcaneal branch, arterial branch, I'm sorry. Now, up above, they're finding huge amounts of gold for them, right in here. They think they found a mother lode. They're finding pounds and pounds of gold in here. However, this creature was so gigantic, it had tons of gold. So what happens? They go down, dig and dig and dig, and they say, well, we ran out of gold, because it's only going to collect in the red blood, in the blood. They ran out, it played out. They say, oh, it played out, there's nothing down here. Well, guess what? There is blood servicing this, and then it runs right down to the front of your foot, and there is a ton of it, and it's an elbow right here, and the blood literally collects in that elbow in such a clog as to be a virtual clog in a drain. I'll show you that right now. Alright, this is what happens. It comes down through this artery, and then it collects in this branch right here, and it plugs up right in here. Alright, that's what they call a ram's horn. The blood comes down, and the gold starts to pile up, pile up, pile up. All of a sudden it clogs it off. You got a little pieces coming here and here and here and there, but the main thing is this horn. Alright, there's one right there. Now, and you can actually see there's little spots of blood here and there, the little red you can see, and you know, if you look at it close, it's there. It's going to be embedded in the gold when they don't hit it with all these acids and so forth. Alright, there's another little one. If you see up at the top, you see the white in there? The gold will collect around it, and the white will sort of try to invade too, and the gold will finally pinch itself off. So it's a process of settling, really, is all it is. And the heaviest stuff goes to the bottom. And you get a variety of gold, different, you know, like this is not the same quality of gold as up here. There's a chart of the gold in the different colors, and it goes into the copper range and so forth. All right, this is different colors of what you would consider gold. And it's the spectrum of different metals in that range, and I imagine there's different alloys within it they've attached to each other and so forth. Or they've just all settled into a puddle there. I don't know really, to be perfectly honest with you, but these are the different laminations of gold, let's say that way. You may find all of these in one same spot. You may find only this in that spot. Depends on how the percolation works and what minerals were in the water, you know, what chemistry it came from, really. Now this is gold, copper, and silver alloy, all in the same chunk. And you can see that's tendinous material. It's all over this. So this probably came out of a lower part of a foot. And I'm going to show you something right now. I'm not going to spend too much time with this. I have a whole batch of videos on this. These are the tendon fibrils. They're limestone. They're coated with the slip clay of kaolin type fascia clays. That is the abrupt transition wrinkle zone. This is the architecture of the heel, and it doesn't form like that by accident coming straight up out of the ground. This is the formation of the top end of a foot just as it hits the basement part of the foot. And this is quite high up compared to most of them, because the heel itself is almost out of the ground. And this is from a different angle, but you see how the tendons actually cut into themselves. They know how to build themselves to make it structurally, solid as hell. I mean, the body is absolutely phenomenal. The way it's constructed and all of the different materials, and you can see the slip clays that are in there. They can let these fibers move up and down. Every single fiber here has to be independent, and everyone is separated from every other one when you're alive. If they don't move all flexibly, you cannot move. That's the nature of these tendons, and when they snap like this. And like Michael Tellinger has all these ring stones and everything out there in South Africa. Well, they're ring stones because they're under tension. And bing, these up here, they go boom, boom, boom. Down here, they go bing, bing, bing. It's the way it works. They're stressed. They're stressed stone. That's making them ring. All right, you saw Devil's Tower, so you know how this comes down. Well, you got all your tendon fibrils like this. They come down, and then they play out this way. Now you see these steps. You see that step, 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 step. I think they used. Well, I know. In my own mind, I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And from the maps of the 1500s, it shows that they had built on the Giza Plateau the pyramids on these structures. They built them from the top down. They took these pieces from up here, brought them down, and built it up this way. And they had to, even the steps were built into the thing. If they did it right, it was not the kind of job we're thinking it was. But anyway, this is a foot. That's the shape of the foot, and that foot is in the ground, and that you can see a little bit of blood is starting to get into the heel already. You only got to go down another maybe 30 feet or so, probably not even this high. What do we got, like 6, 12, 25 feet maybe. You go down, and you're going to, I don't see how you could miss gold there. At the bottom of that heel, wherever it goes, down around this way, I think that guy's standing 50 feet away from maybe a couple $100 pounds of gold. I don't know how much would be there, but that's a good sized creature. Not the kind of creatures that have the huge amount of gold, like the one in Australia. That one there, the foot is miles. I think it's like 2 miles long, just the foot. This one's nowhere near that big, but there's going to be some gold in there. Absolutely. There's no question whatsoever. There's no way that thing could have died in water, standing up like that, which it did, and not have that heavy metals fall down there. It's going to be there. Okay, I'm just going to leave you with this, because my next one is going to be on David Hudson and the Ormus and how to find it, where it collects. Now, he has discovered enormous quantities of the platinum group elements. And as I studied his work, and I kept studying all these different layers in the earth, I realized the KT boundary, which is supposed to be 65 million years ago, that killed all the dinosaurs, they say, is not 65 million years ago. It is not from a meteor strike whatsoever. The reason, they say, is because of iridium. Now wait till you hear what I have to show you from David Hudson, who did the real research of minerals that leach out of huge dead creatures in hot springs conditions. Heavy iridium, heavy gold, heavy all of the things that are in your blood. And iridium is dense in your skin, as is kaolin. Now look, it's clay. That's clay. That didn't come from outer space. That is clay, kaolinite clay. The coal down below is from the layer of skin tissue that eroded, killing the plant life underneath, causing it to turn into sulfurous coals. Above is your more dead things, and then into the less dead things in the mudstones. Now, let's see what David Hudson has to show about this iridium layer. All right, you can go up and look at this one if you want. It's called Manna, Monoatomic Gold Discussed Part 1. It's 3 years ago. And I said, looks to me like creatures are the source of manna, boiled residue from geodes in geologically active areas, pH and hot springs, and I go on. This one's 17. I have a part 2, and then I did another one I see up here I didn't even know I had, which is this one here. That's on the Mud Fossil University channel, showing where I think this stuff is coming from. I have updated my opinion on that it doesn't have to be from these tendon balls, and I don't think it is. However, they may have transition metals dense in them. I don't know. I've never done any chemical analysis on the interior of the tendon balls, and I find that there is many different varieties of tendon balls. Some of them, I believe, can squish. And some of them are so solid as spherical that there's no way they can, those are the ball ones. And other ones have a fabric inside of them, and I think they're solid but pliable. Let's go with that. All right, but you should go see Ormus, Dave Hudson Ormus. This is number 1, and that's like a couple of hours. No, that's 10 minutes only. That'd be a good one to watch. Anyway, that'll be the next one.